This is a wrap-up session. I just attended the town board meeting of POTSDAM. These three people here went to the meeting with me about 18 Elm Street here and the possibilities of saving it or not saving it. Basically, I feel we were discarded. The town supervisor was nice to me, but someone like him, they weren't. But you want to speak? How did you feel?
I was completely discarded. You know, I tried to throw in my experience doing archaeology for the past, since I graduated SUNY POTSDAM in 2008, and I tried to do the archaeology angle because a lot of people are interested in history of towns, especially POTSDAM, who loves to tout the fact that it's a historical town. I tried to use that in trying to get them to understand where we were coming from and saving the house. They pushed me over to the side, didn't want to hear anything I had to say. And then they proceeded to ask me rapid-fire questions without even giving me a chance to answer. And when they were done, told me to just ask other people stuff. They just moved me to the side.
The one question I didn't like is this: basically, that town councilman said that Wes Craven has no connection to this house. I'm sorry to bring the nightmare angle, but he tried to embarrass you.
Yeah, he tried to.
I clarified it. I restated that.
He did. Wes Craven did make the movie with his students here. You know, that's a great element. Wes Craven did, in fact, stand foot in here. But they're trying to make it seem like we're a bunch of crackpots who know nothing at all.
Yeah. And this property goes back. This house goes back to the 1890s. The property goes back to the early 1800s.
You know, town founder, first bought this property and put his house here.
Yeah.
Probably, most likely, somewhere under this ground, around this place right now, we'll find maybe the original foundation if they didn't dig it up when they built this.
It could be right there, or it could be in the back.
It could be in the backyard. It could be, and I mean, if anything, if they tear this place down, the state is going to force them to do phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. I guarantee they'll be forced to do a phase 3 because this is historic property. So what's going to end up happening is they're going to have to start digging around everywhere, and if anything, they're going to find anything from day-to-day life.
Yeah, it could be a dump somewhere in here of old crock pots. You never know.
Well, normally what would happen is household waste either go out the front door or the back door.
Yep.
And you'd find a huge scattering of it. So it all depends on what's under this ground right now, but they're not taking us seriously, and it's kind of annoying that they just pushed us away.
Yeah.
They have their mindset.
And the Potsdam Preservation Society's only started like a month ago.
3 weeks ago, I think, is when I first put the Facebook group together with just me and a quote.
What made you decide? Was it me or?
You were a good starting point. You had taken all the YouTube videos and everything else, and you showed me the property, and then Ryan a lot with the things that he was doing, and then a woman named Steph McDougal, who was telling people in one of the posts on the Save the Nightmare House, was talking about there's no one person or group that's going to be able to save this property. The best way to do it will be to form a 501c3 not-for-profit organization. And at the point in time, I was unemployed, so I had all the time in the world. So I spent 2 nights researching the entire thing out. And within a week, I had together, mission statement, bylaws, everything. I just sat there. All the time in the world. I'm an insomniac, so I really don't sleep.
More than what I did, basically. I just did videos. That's all I did, and some research.
Yeah, but you got the videos out there, and that's what's important. People use the internet all the time. YouTube is one of the greatest things in the world. Facebook, one of the greatest things in the world. Why? Because it connects people from everywhere.
Yeah. So 7,000 people now costs for this house. It's called Save the Nightmare on Elm Street house, but this is more than the Nightmare on Elm Street house when you look back in the history books. Ryan, you want to say anything? Or? For the record, so we have it.
I was discouraged by how quickly we were discarded, basically.
Maybe things will get better, and life's unpredictable.
They didn't really want to hear what we had to say. We said it anyways, as much as we could. But yeah, they pretty much have their mind made up, and I don't think we did much to change it.
You know what?
Well, we got our foot in the door, and I think if
We did.
we can show them that we're serious and we have group support, they want to know how much money we had and all this kind of stuff. And it's like we just started this group, so if we really banded together and showed them that there was people out there that cared about the house and wanted to restore it, then money talks and walks, you know. So I think that's the way to start. And by the next meeting, we'll have some more facts to give them. They offered to let us in at any time to take a little tour through ourselves and look at what the inside condition is actually like. Instead of taking everybody else's word for it, or maybe get a real person that has an unbiased opinion whether it's not feasible to restore this. Even though it's going to take a lot of money, but if it's worth it, I think it's worth it.
And we're well aware of that fact, but they seem to need to educate us about how much work needed to be done. When we've known for a while now.
Yeah,
And
it's creativity and thinking up
we're-
here. What can be possible? You know,
We're
you gotta
stepping up and saying we're
be
willing to do
open-minded.
this work. We're willing to do the work to gain the money, and they're just not interested.
I tried to state that with the Morrisville at the house building they restored, and in the one house in my town, the guy restored it looked like this, but they, you know.
And one of the points I actually tried to make to them was give us a chance to get the money, give us a chance to do all this, and then they started talking to me like I was asking them with my hat in my hand for money to do this.
Yep.
Give us a chance to raise the money, give us a chance to do what's needed to do this. And I think what we should try to do next is, if they're not going to listen to us, we need to get a written petition out here. We need to let people know what's going on, and I think if we get enough of the community to
That's what I try
get
to
their
state. Yep.
names on that petition, because they're talking about, well, you'll need some community support and everything else. If we get enough names, I think, on a written petition of community members, I think that'll start to open their eyes that, hey, there is people interested in this place from any angle that
Yeah.
you want. You know,
That's pretty much what I was trying to tell them, right? We get the community, this could bring the community together, but they didn't seem to
I think
care.
that was a good angle, because I think it in these kind of times when everybody's being so isolated by themselves and not really acting as a community, I think it's the perfect opportunity to get people to actually pitch in, do a home makeover type of thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's
Yes.
seeding the lawn to, slapping some paint on. If we can get some volunteers and people can interact with each other, I think that'd be a great way. I think we'd make some good headway there.
I think we pretty much stated how we feel, because you know how I feel.
yeah.
I'm not happy.
I don't think any of us right now are happy, especially the fact that we went in, we tried to get our points across, and we were discarded like cheap firewood.
Yep.
And I don't know what else we can really do. I mean, I think we should get the written petition out there. I think, in all seriousness, since they're using taxpayer money to do this, I'm surprised they're not getting a vote of the people whose money they're spending
They
to,
haven't
you
since
know.
the beginning. They haven't since the beginning of this whole process.
They really need to be asking the members of the community, is this what you want? You're using their money to razz this building and build something else here. Do the people want that? Do they want, all that money that's going to be spent to demolish, take it away, to do the archaeological survey that's going to be needed? There's no if, and, or but about that. It is going to be needed. And then to rebuild something on here. In the end, is it cost efficient to do all of that, or just to sink the money in and repair the place? And then they can use it for offices all they want, but they can now say they're in a true POTSDAM home that has been here since, 1890s.
I think we covered everything, right?
Yeah.
You're a talker.
Yeah, unfortunately.
We talk the most.
That's my problem, is I'm big on history. That's why I became an archaeologist, and when I sit there and I see something like this that's just, it has a rich history going to be destroyed, it just irritates the ever-living crap out of me.
And I'm a journalist. That's what I went to college for. Even if I do stuff more easily on in video now.
Yeah.